Greetings and welcome to Instant Publicity Interviews. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia. And today we have a wonderful guest, is the founder of AdventJets, Scott Buzz. Scott, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, wonderful. Scott, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to get involved in AdventJets.com?
Sure. What inspired me is I love working with like-minded people, and I've always had a passion to treat people with trust and transparency. And so for that, I've escalated my business into working with high net worth, ultra high net worth clients, CEOs, executives. No matter who they are, somebody is somebody. And so for that reason, I just believe in the nature of how I was brought up in the Midwest to be transparent and trust is the way I built my business, and that's how I got into it.
You mentioned about trust and transparent. In this world, that's very, very shortage of this world. That's a key part all over the world. It doesn't matter which country we are talking about, at a leadership level and a company level, at everywhere. How do you find trustworthy people to work with?
I think it's this instinct that you're born with. For some reason, it's either you have it or you don't. Just like salespeople, either they can sell or they can't. Hospitality, no matter what you are, some people are college people that want to go to college for doctors. Me, I dropped out of college. So basically, trust is something that you have to earn. There's people out there that every day that own businesses or personal life that they get burnt, but you wear your heart on your sleeve, and why change for anybody? Karma, I believe, will come back. And I'm a very spiritual guy. I always say, when you have God with you, who can be against you? For the most part, I believe in most people, it's trust and transparency that is going to be more of a winning situation than to sit there and think negative.
How do you build a trust then?
It takes time. It's something that you just have to build. Where if it's building a couple conversations, meeting in person, if it's introducing other like-minded people, that's basically when you're working with ultra high net worth and high net worth individuals, the number one thing that they want is trust and transparency. If it's referrals, I built my business with no marketing, no PR, all organic. So I busted. It took me many, many years to build some of these relationships. And when you build these relationships and they're organic, they're solid. That's where you build the trust and transparency. It's not something that takes instant. Everybody's personality is different. Either you get along or you don't. However, you can adapt to different people. You got to be diverse. And I feel that's either you have it or you don't. And so that's my way of being trust and transparency. It takes time to get there.
Yeah, the great advice, Scott. Based on your years of experience of running a business, especially as AdventJets.com, what are the top 3 challenges, like issues or problems you face that you can share with other people like us and me and people who are watching?
Sure.
So they avoid that mistakes not to in their business.
Sure. I would say the biggest couple of factors is know who you're dealing with. Come down to trust, because even though I'm in the same business and you might reach out to a competitor or 3 or 4, you're actually hurting yourself, because that trip in my business could be costing you to build that trust, because you're getting 4 or 5 different quotes. Sometimes we might be right there or a little bit higher, but it comes down to service. And so sometimes having one individual, just like an attorney, you go to an attorney for their advice. Same thing with private aviation or anything to do with luxury lifestyle. I have those relationships built. If you're going to buy a house or do a mortgage, you're going to go with somebody you trust. That's the most expensive purchase in life. You want to build that trust. And that's really the biggest hurdle, is getting my name out there, because I built it organic. Everybody knows NetJets, Wheels Up. They're multi-billion-dollar companies, some of the biggest CEOs out there. And I'm competing against them. And I love when I can build. I love competition, but it's friendly. And like I said, I don't have the deep pockets to advertise like they do. And that's okay, because I built it blue organically. So that's basically the biggest challenge, is who is AdventJets? I never heard of you. Well, that's great, because now there's companies out there that know who I am, and I developed, because most of the private aviation companies, they just focus on your transportation and basic catering, and that's it. I basically do your door-to-destination experience, where if it's a golf package, or if it's a villa, a private island, if it's a chef, whatever it may be, I'm your go-to company to get the results that you need.
No, that's amazing. So, Scott, you are on this interview because of Shehzad Ul Hassan. So, Shehzad Ul Hassan recommended us to talk. So, we are on this call. So, what would you recommend the top 3 success secrets of your business?
Persistence, but not in a bad way. Persistence in a good way. Sincerely, I always say, when you get to know people, I keep saying synergy, trust, transparency, work with like-minded people. I can sit and throw a lot of things at you, but sincerely, people can tell when you're sincere. And trust and transparency, I know I preach that, but that seriously got me to where I'm at. I'm a 49-year-old individual that loves my business, and I'm thankful that I dropped out of college. And I always say that to invest in yourself and to believe in yourself, confidence goes a lot of ways. Conceitedness doesn't get you anywhere. Confidence, trust, transparency, synergy, and spiritual you'll go many places.
You are not 49. You are lying, Scott. You are 18 with the 31 years experience.
Yeah, I'm 48. I'll be 49 in August. My background, I got about 20 years of working with real estate and mortgage with high net worth clients for about 20 plus years. So I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment that I look 30, and I feel 25 sometimes.
Sometimes. So, Scott, why someone should do business with AdventJets?
I appreciate that question. Why do business with AdventJets is because you're going to get trust and transparency. I'm going to give you options. I'm going to let you choose what you think is best for you, but I'm there to guide you. I'm there to get the expertise. Because some people, they might know about flying private, or they might want to know about this, but they don't know the exact extras. Like, for instance, minimum hours to fly. You got to book in 12-hour increments, or give a 2 days notice. So there are a lot of different things that go into it. I want you to know that you can come to me, and I have you treat you like family. And I think that's the number one thing, is trust and transparency. I keep going to.
Yeah, that is amazing. Definitely. And I see you have a wonderful website. Somebody can book it online, or they have to call you, or you have a big team, or just let us know. It's only one person, or like a team who are taking care of everything.
Sure. I'm the CEO, and I have a dedicated team. They can call the toll-free number, 833-444-9494, AdventJets. You can email info@adventjets.com. You can book online. You can book, even if you don't travel private aviation, you can book global chauffeur company. You name it. I pretty much have to do with luxury. I have the relationship. I will put you in the right direction. But yeah, you can call. You can email, you can go online. Make it
okay. In this COVID-19 situation, the commercial availability is very limited. In some cases, it's not even available. As an example, somebody want to go from Atlanta to Dubai, or England, Manchester, UK, or wherever. Is it possible to go on this?
Great question. With the coronavirus, a lot of my flights have been domestic here in the States. However, I've done UK to Italy. I've done Ghana to Costa Rica. However, with some of those flights, politically correct, certain nationalities can't travel to certain areas. But when you work with the government, and things can be taken care of. So I don't like to say nothing's possible. Depends with the right documentation. I just did a flight for somebody from Colombia to Toronto. He was a Canadian. But with the right documentation and the right people, I can help facilitate that. Obviously, I don't know everybody. You might have to know some people, but within who we can know, with like-minded people, it can be done. But also with the restrictions of coronavirus, it's starting to loosen up a lot here. Not just in the States, but globally.
So rich people who, I would say, rich people who have deep pockets and they are still traveling the same way they were used to travel before, or they're traveling more or less right now?
More people are traveling private, believe it or not, but there's some people out there that they think because of the pandemic that they can fly private cheap. And I don't like to say cheap, less expensive, like a major airline. You're not going to go somewhere round trip in the States for $1,000 or a couple $1,000s. So, you're better off going first class. But more people are looking at flying private because businesses, you can go to 2 or 3 meetings in a day and your return on investment is going to be there because you can have staff meetings at the private office of the FBO, which is the fixed base operator of the private airport. We can cater in food. You can have your managers, all the meetings within 3 hours. You can be like, give you an example, Scottsdale, California. You can go to 3 or 4 meetings in one day and still be home for your family at night. So versus renting a car, hotel, driving. So you got to look at cost effective, but there are many ways of people with the coronavirus now that want to travel private, less crowded, less security that you have to go through at the airport, germs. You can conduct business on the aircraft with Wi-Fi. So there's a lot of different options to suit everybody's different needs.
Mm-hmm. Scott, in your professional life, what's the single most professional failure you had, which you like to share with us? What did you learn from it, and how did you recover from it?
I would say at a young age, rejection. In my sales background, I started with rejection. And this goes to a story. I was in sales, and somebody told me to go talk to that client, and I didn't want to go talk to him. And this is typical still to this day. I remember it when I was 21 years old. So the gentleman looked like from the Midwest, was a farmer, and farmers are great people. My godfather, rest in peace, he was a 107-year-old. He was a farmer. But this lesson that I'm going to share with you still to this day is the guy that I was working with. He was a team member, taught me a lesson. I didn't know it was a lesson at that time, but basically it was a lesson to never know who somebody is, because they could have a check, they could have a plastic card, they could have a black card, they could pay for it different ways. So if you assume that they can't afford what you're doing, you don't know. And that's why you don't treat people on how people look. I'm a simple Midwest guy. I love what I do, but I don't care about what you have material-wise. I always say material things can be replaced. Things in the heart can't. So that story sticks with me since I was 21 years old. Just because this farmer had old bibs and it came in a pickup truck, the guy owned a business and he was very multi-millionaire. So you just don't know, especially in today's day with the .com and that, you don't know who owns what or who knows who. So that's why I don't like to burn bridges and trust and transparency. That's my failure, but it's taught me to be who I am today.
That's amazing lesson to learn. So,
Thank you.
Scott, as we're about to wrap up, is there anything I didn't ask you and you would like to share?
I think you asked me pretty much everything, except for I'd love for people to check out AdventJets.com, check out my website, call, email with any questions, anything that I can do around the world. If it's in the States, my team be here to help you.
Oh, wonderful. That's amazing. As we are about to wrap up, what would you say as a final word?
Live every day like it's your last day. Be transparent. I always say you can pick and choose your job, your wife, your spouse, this and that. You can't choose your purpose. God does. And so my purpose is to work with like-minded people and to connect with good people. So live every day. You just don't know, obviously, with the pandemic that we've just been going through. If it means reach out to somebody that you've had a bitter rivalry with or you hate, pick it up. You don't know if you're going to have that opportunity to speak to them again. And the older that we get, life is just more precious.
Yeah, live with the purpose. That's the word today. Basically, live with the purpose. You have to live with the purpose. Honesty, integrity, and be a transparent. That's why you never burn up bridges.
Correct.
And do not judge people how they look. That's why we are on this call. I don't look like anybody else. So thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate very much. On the behalf of Instant Publicity Interviews and our entire team, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and insights with us. Then again, this is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia, and wish you all the best and see you next time.